Krishna ma'am. Good morning to one and all present in this online platform. It's an immense pleasure to welcome you all via online for this inaugural function of AICT sponsored online STTP Series 2 from 4/1/2021 to 9/1/2021 on Internet of Things with blockchain, application and challenges. First, we thank the AICT for sponsoring this STTP. We like to express our gratitude to our secretary and correspondent, Thiru S.D. Chandrasekhar sir, who is always the motivating force for us. It is his vision and leadership that has brought the highest accolades to our institution. On behalf of the management and faculty members, I offer a warm welcome to our today's chief guest, Dr. Muruganandam Ponuswamy, Professor and Registrars, Saint Kitts Group of Institution, Kerala, to grace this occasion by his august presence and to deliver the inaugural address and to handle a session on overview and requirements of IoT and blockchain. Welcome, sir. A warm and welcome to our respected principal, Dr. M. Jayaraman sir, an intellectual scholar who gave us optimistic inspiration in all our activities and is here to grace this occasion. Welcome, sir. Next, we welcome Dr. P. Jayachandra sir and the Controller of Examination, Dr. K.R. Valluvan sir. They are always sets an example for all of us. Welcome, sirs. Next, we welcome the heads of various departments, teaching and non-teaching staff members, ministerial staff members, MITs, and the resource persons who are going to handle the various sessions on these 6 days, and the participants of this STTP from various institutions all over India. Welcome all. In today's data-driven world, blockchain and IoT are the hottest emerging technologies. A combination of these two provides a powerful approach which significantly paves the way for new business models and distributed applications. This STTP is proposed to reach out to the teaching community for expanding their knowledge and understanding of integrating blockchain with IoT to manage and process huge volumes of data security. This STTP is designed in such a way to enable the participants to understand the architecture, building blocks, and design of IoT, challenges in the centralized client-server model of IoT applications, and mitigate the security attacks through the decentralized blockchain approach, which help the participants to prepare for a career as an IoT engineer with blockchain implementing skill. Today's inaugural function will be followed by a session on IoT and its requirements by our chief guest, Dr. Muruganandam Ponuswamy, which will be followed in the afternoon by Mr. P. Nilesh, IoT consultant, Enterprise Building Training Solutions, Thane, on design and power blocks of IoT. We shall begin the second day of our STTP with a discussion on building blocks, protocols, technologies, security and challenges of IoT by Dr. R.P. Ramkumar, Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Mallareddy Engineering College, Secunderabad, which will be continued in the afternoon by Dr. T. Vairam, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, on Introduction and Evolution of Blockchain. The third day of the STTP session will start with a discussion on components and the concepts of IoT, identification and analysis of different ways of integrating IoT with blockchain by Dr. D. Surendran, Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, KPR Institute of Engineering Technology, Coimbatore, which will be followed by Ms. C.M. Nagasudha, Teaching Fellow, MIT, Chennai, on techniques and cryptographic algorithms in blockchain for IoT and the research aspects in integrating blockchain with IoT. We begin the fourth day of our STTP with a discussion on application of blockchain in industries and smart environments and about the future and the security of blockchain-based IoT applications by Dr. B. Santosh Kumar, Senior Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, GMR Institute of Technology, Rajan, Andhra Pradesh. And in the afternoon session, we shall continue with types of blockchain, public blockchain, Ethereum and its components by Mr. Komal Srinivas, Tech Specialist, UTC Hyderabad. The fifth day of our STTP will be handled by Mr. T. Ramkumar, Project Manager, Aditi Software, Hyderabad, on the topics Solidity language for Ethereum, deploying Solidity smart contract in Ethereum blockchain, and dApps using blockchain. We shall begin the last day of our STTP with a discussion on theoretical and programming aspects of integrating IoT with blockchain by Dr. R. Devi Priya Ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of Information Technology, Kongu Engineering College, and in the afternoon by Dr. S. Kannamuthu, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, Karpagam College of Engineering, Coimbatore, on the challenges and potential benefit in the integration of blockchain with IoT. We shall end our STTP with a validatory function followed by an assessment on our STTP topic. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. A noble man with the character of great heights, a prophecy of destiners, and originator of multifarious notions, you have made us proud with all the great endeavors taken over time. May we now request our Honorable Principal, Dr. M. Jayaraman sir, to preside over the function and to give his presidential address and felicitation.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Most respected Secretary and Correspondent, Sri S.T. Chandrasekhar sir. Most respected Chief Guest of this function, Dr. Murugananda Ponduswamy, Professor and Registrar, St. Kitts College of Engineering, Kottayam. Respected Dean, Professor Jayachandra, Controller of Examination, Dr. K.R. Panduvan, Head of the Department, Dr. Jabin Begum, the Coordinator, Dr. Lata Jodi and Dr. Kayal Vili, and participants from our own institution and other institutions, and my dear students. Good morning to everyone present here in the virtual mode. As you are all aware of that, we have been conducting a lot of short-term training programs, which is sponsored by AICT. So we are very much grateful to Colonel Venkat, Director Faculty Development Cell AICT, and the AICT for their grant. So this is the second series. So as you are all aware of that, the AICT, NASCOM, the various associations, they are telling that there are a lot of emerging areas. So down the line 10 years, these technologies are going to rule the world. So two such emerging areas are, one is IoT, another one is the blockchain. So the STTP combines the both. So even though we are doing a lot of financial services and other areas, insurance and other things, but after implementing the blockchain, we will get much more the better, because it is an open type, it cannot be altered, and then and there it is like kind of the open source. So that is why now everyone is talking about the blockchain, especially government of Tamil Nadu came forward to release the IoT and the blockchain policy. They released around 5 policies in artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things, and blockchain, then cyber security, like that. So they are envisaging, and they have already created Tamil Inayam, in which they all the there is benefits going to the public are going to be combined, and it will be the transparent, and it will be very much useful to the public. So likewise, already the various industries implemented. As of now, they have reached around 15 to 20% implementation of the blockchain in their project, but still a lot more to come. But slowly they are building a lot of skills. So whatever may be the emerging areas, we are having the hardwares, but we require the human resources with the latest skills. That is why they are identifying already the workforce in the companies, and they are doing upskill or the reskill process. The second one is those who are studying in the colleges, in the UG or the PG or the research area. So they have to know that, and they have to acquire those skills. So for that, the AICT thought that we have to teach first the fundamentals and the basics for the teaching fraternity, so that they will to carry forward in the classroom or outside the classroom for preparing the younger generation for the future career opportunity. So that is why they are giving a lot of grants for organizing this kind of emerging areas. Especially the Internet of Things also play a vital role, because we are moving to the manufacturing 4.0 or industry 4.0, or it may be called it as the automation era. And both the automation and the digital era, there is a force us to move to some platform that should be very apt. So that is why the Internet of Things with the blockchain and application and challenges. We know that applications are there, but what are the challenges? Because as highly populated democratic country of our own, India. So we cannot implement as such all the technologies, because we have to give the jobs for the lot of youngsters and the graduates or whoever may be the workforce. So we are slowly build the blockchain and we are implementing. But there is a lot of misconceptions in the media that there will not be any work for the future generation if you implement the artificial intelligence or the IoT or the industry or the automation. It is not like that, because whenever we are implementing a new technology, we need the human resource with the skill. We should think that those who are having the latest the skills, they are all not going to dethroned by the society in any cause. Those who are having the low skills, semi-skills or unskilled persons, they may be eliminated this system, but still they are having some other work in the spectrum. But we should not think that those who are graduating, that is why now the aspirants towards the engineering graduation itself a problem, because of the misconception proliferated by the society at large. We should not think that, because the engineers, the technocrats are very much required for the country like India, because we have to develop and we have to reach a 5 trillion by 2025. Unless otherwise, with the help of the younger generation and the workforce with the skill, only we can approach. We cannot do much on other things, because our exports mainly on the service sector, especially the manufacturing one. Another is the software. There is a software and software enabled services. There is ITES and the IT area. We are exporting more than $250 billion, but it will reach by 300 or 500 by 2020 2030 like that. So we should know about the latest technology, then only we can apply and our graduates will get the job. So this is the motto of the short-term training program. So the experts like Muruganandam Ponnusamy and others, they are going to give the lectures, and the faculty members, they have to grasp everything, and you should not do everything immediately, but you have to grasp something and you have to give away and take forward to the classroom for motivating the student, inspiring the student to do the project or mini project, some other assignments, and slowly we have to give the confidence on them. Then only in the final year they will be easily absorbed by the top companies. So I hope these 6 days will be very useful for the faculty members, and it is very difficult to give training for entire teaching fraternity. That is why they are identifying minimum the 40-50. So you may come from one college or one department, 1 or 2 are having the chances, but you have to proliferate this message to your colleagues first, then the students, and you have to do some research. Then thereby we can improve the knowledge. So I hope this STTP will be a grand success. Wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable information. Now it's time to introduce the chief guest of today's function, a magnetic personality, Dr. Muruganandam Ponnusamy, Professor and Registrar, St. Gibbs Group of Institutions, Kerala. We call upon Ms. S. Nithya, Assistant Professor, to introduce our chief guest.
Good morning, everyone present online. I feel extremely honored to introduce our chief guest of the day, Dr. Muruganandam Ponnusamy, Professor and Registrar, St. Gibbs Group of Institution, Kerala. He has a versatile experience of over 22 years in the teaching sector. He is an experienced professor and a proven problem solver. He had been graduate trainee in Pony Sugars Limited, Erode for 6 months. He worked as a registrar at St. Gibbs Group of Institution from 2014 to till date. He has 5 intellectual property rights and he worked under various consultancy projects from various funding agencies. He mentored more than 75 faculty development programs in outcome-based education. and he is a recipient of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University OBE FDP fundings. He participated in Peace Engineering 2018 in New Mexico, USA. He is serving as National Executive Council member for Indian Society for Technical Education. He is nominated by AICTE India to serve as Mark Dutchep mentor to engineering colleges to streamline the SOP to acquire MBA. He also selected as program evaluator candidate of accreditation code for engineering and technology USA. It is a great privilege to have such wonderful personality with us today. We feel honored by your presence, sir. On behalf of PCET and Department of Computer Science and Engineering, we once again welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Nitya Silva, for your brief introduction. Respected Secretary and Correspondent through SD Chandrasekhar, the giant who is leading the institute, Dr. M. Jayaraman, Principal Sir, and the Dean, Professor Jayachandar, as well as the person who established the relation between me and the Vellalar College of Engineering and Technology, Dr. Valluvan. The head of the department who is contributing a lot for the development of computer science area, Dr. S. Jabin Beham. The professor, Dr. V. Lata Jodi, who is a coordinator, as well as Dr. S. Kailvili, who made communication to me to establish this relation to make contact with this particular 50 plus participants who gathered here to know something or to do something or to establish something by involving in IoT as well as blockchain research. Good morning all. It is my privilege to speak with you, to stand in front of you people, that to 50 plus participants across the country gathered here. Yes, our principal made rightly, he pointed out rightly, he given the statement also perfectly. Of course, the emerging technologies like IoT, data science, artificial intelligence, of course, blockchain are all most recommendable, most needed in this particular situation. Why I am saying so? Most of you are coming from academic area, and we witnessed the admission process of the current year engineering admissions. I am sure the core engineering departments like mechanical, civil and electrical got affected much and very less number of admissions taken place. Of course, the computer science got higher enthusiasm, which means the core engineering branches are not important, which means it is not like that. Of course, we faculty missed some chances to attract people to get admission in mechanical, civil and electrical because the entire industry, as mentioned by Principal, Industry 4.0 is leading towards artificial intelligence by implementing lot of technologies. Of course, the computer people are so brilliant and they are teaching those things so that they are getting attraction. I urge all the participants, if at all you belongs to any such kind of core engineering branches, you please empower in this technological area and make our own core engineering branches to get implementation and make it smart. So it is required. Not only Industry 4.0, we required Education 4.0 also in this particular situation. I am sure not only India, the entire world is witnessed the necessity of IoT. Of course, some of our senior members, including few of our junior members who hesitated to use the Internet of Things, are also forced to use. It is like a coin on the both sides we have to look at, and we have to choose the best side. Of course, Internet of Things and blockchain is having a lot of positive things. When you talk about blockchain, it is coming nothing like that. Why I am saying is the recent past, maybe within a week back, if you are looking the news media, the Bitcoin cost reached 20 lakhs plus. So the world is moving toward the virtual. The world is moving towards the artificial intelligence. The world is moving towards the technology implementation. It is not restricted with computer. It is not restricted with a few parts of our day-to-day activity. It is with everything. When you say IoT, it is everything. Of course, we need a lot of security. For the security, we can go for using the blockchain. So the combination of Internet of Things and blockchain, which is chosen by the coordinator who prepared for getting funding from the AICTE, the proposal is very much appreciable. They are having some sense in their mind. That's what I can say in this particular moment. I am damn sure among these 50 participants, few are forced compulsorily to attend this FDP and few are know some terms and they want to gain something through the various speakers as well as the participants. Very few people may be in the top end, so we are required the collaborative research also. Utilize the chances which is given by the Vellalar College of Engineering and Technology and make beneficial of individuals as well as campus. Among the different colleges, we can go for doing the collaborative research also, because the topic which spelled here are all entirely new and it is common to all the people irrespective of branch of engineering. Being a mechanical engineer, I am successfully sitting in front of you because the technology is very simple. Only issue, we have to deploy it, we have to experience it. If you are deploying and experiencing, especially in different core engineering branches, then we may have lot of positive benefits to us. In addition to this, we are having lot of benefits if you are thinking to deploy this technology in healthcare industry too, right? So there are several chances are there. Among the several chances, the health industry, the banking industry, the transportation industry, the manufacturing industry are all in the top list. Obviously, the persons involving in Internet of Things, blockchain research or project should know how the other sectors are getting operate. Without knowing the operation, we cannot go for deploying our new technology. So definitely these technologies will make more amount of collaborative research in the coming days. People are talking about industry collaboration, but I always believe that the collaborative research in between departments in engineering college as well as colleges will always attract industry to come and sponsor whatever we require in terms of funding. So I am sure within the next few months, the participants may enrich more knowledge in this particular sector by attending various type of trainings. When I say various type of trainings, these 6 days are not sufficient. We have to go for doing little bit elaborate study on this particular topic. Further, we may able to make the collaborative research. I wish the college authorities, the coordinator and the participants for the fruitful next 6 days. Once again, thank you, Dr. Valluvan, for establishing a relation between us for the few back years. And I thank Dr. S. Kailvili for making this relation as a best one in the coming days, and hope we will continue in this area as a collaborative researchers in a well manner. Thank you, Ananda. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your informative talk. And now this event is about to end, and a grateful heart is a magnet of miracles. We now invite Dr. S. Kailvili, coordinator of this STTP, to propose the vote of thanks.
Happy morning to all present online. It's a privilege and a great pleasure for me to extend a word of thanks on behalf of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering and the entire fraternity of Vellalar College of Engineering and Technology to all those who have contributed in one way or other to make this inaugural function a success. First, I sincerely thank the AICTE for granting the sponsorship to conduct this STTP. We express our heartfelt gratitude to our secretary and correspondent through SD Chandrasekhar sir, who gave us optimistic inspiration in all our activities. We are highly indebted to our principal, Dr. M. Jayaraman sir, who is well known for his boundless energy, patience, integrity, and commitment. We thank our Dean, Professor P. Jayachandra sir, and COE Dr. K. R. Vallavan sir for their eminent leadership. We accord our sincere gratitude to our today's chief guest and resource person, Dr. Muruganandam Ponnusamy, Professor and Registrar, St. Kitts College of Engineering, Kottayam, Kerala, for his informative and valuable speech and for going to spend his precious time with us in the first session. We also thank all the resource persons who are going to share their knowledge with us in the coming sessions of this series 2. We thank our HOD, Dr. S. Jabin Begum, for her valuable guidance. We also thank the HODs, faculty members, and non-teaching staff members of all the departments for joining with us today. We also thank the administrative manager and ministerial staff for their support. We thank all the participants of this series 2 who are going to actively participate for these 6 days. Looking for your great cooperation in the coming days of this STTP, we once again thank you all for joining with us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all who have joined for this inaugural function. Now let us invite a resource person for the first session of the series 2 6 days STTP, Dr. Muruganandam Ponnusamy sir, to move the session forward.
Thank you, Professor. Give me a moment, I can share my screen.
Okay, sir.
Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
And my voice is right.
Yes, sir, it's clear, sir.
Thank you. Right. Internet of things, right? System of interrelated computing devices, mechanical and digital machines, objects, animals, or people, and the ability to transfer data over a network without requiring human to human or human to computer interaction. In short, the Internet of Things refers to the rapidly growing network of connected objects that are able to collect and exchange data using embedded sensors, thermostats, we can say cars, lights, refrigerator. What this is what things is and being known. So the Internet of Things, actuators, embedded physical objects linked through and wireless. So as I said in a
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. Sir, ఏదు వర్లింగ్ సార్ వాయిస్
Is it visible, madam, now?
yes sir, it's visible, sir.
So you didn't get right from the beginning screen, right?
No sir, screen is now it's there, sir.
Okay. Now?
Okay sir.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. Sorry, I got interrupted. Maybe the things disconnected. I think so. Right. See, the Internet of Things, the latest, most hyped concept in the IT world. I am sure we people know an open and comprehensive network of intelligent objects that have the capacity to organize. When I say organize, auto-organize, right? When we say auto-organize, the things will move without any human intervention. As well as sharing the information and resources, reacting, acting in face of situations and change in the environment. So the Internet of IoT may be defined as a network of networks where the end device are not user-handled devices, but can be computing devices, mechanical and digital machines. They can even be objects that can be provided with unique identifiers that transmit and receive data without active human intervention. Example, I said sensors or tracking devices. Most of us are having the interest to wear the wearable device, which is called a smart device, which can observe lot of data related to our health, lot of data related to our activity to make us an alert. So this Internet of Things, which is connecting human to human, which is connecting human to machines as well as vice versa. So in that scenario, when we deal this kind of data in a area which we call as Internet of Things, then we people will raise a doubt, raise a question about the safety as well as the welfare. So the safety and welfare part, we are having the topic which is called as blockchain. If you want to make the data which is going to share in the network, then we are supposed to think about the blockchain. So the participants gathered here, the 50 plus participants, may learn lot of things about the Internet of Things as well as blockchain and how we can go and correlate each other. If you want to make as a definition of Internet of Things, that is I shown in the screenshot. So we are going to connect machine to machine, machine to human, human to machine and whatnot. So as on the date, this Internet of Things is termed in multiple names like machine to machine, industrial internet, right? Industrial Internet of Things, Internet of Things, Web of Things, embedded internet, right? Smart vehicles, Internet of everything. It can be defined in different terminologies according to the situation. As I said in the inaugural address, we cannot go forward without correlating variety of engineering activities. What we are supposed to do? We are supposed to act each and every activity of human in a smart way, in a speedy way, in a reduced time way or reduced expenditure way. For all those things, this IoT is the best recommendable solution. Of course, for the best safety purpose, we may think of the blockchain. So when you say the Internet of Things, almost everything, right? Almost anything, including the living things, right? If it is connected to the Internet, either through wire or wireless, regardless of location or any other physical constraints, that will be called as Internet of Things. Secondly, when we talk about IoT, right, we cannot omit the data because we are transmitting the data. So we are going to deal with n number of data. So the use of the IoT can be associated with the generation and manipulation of vast amounts of data that may relate to human behavior and interaction, that is called as big data. So the big data and its manipulation can result in potentially high impact, for instance, on privacy, security, and consumer welfare, as per the research made by Case 3 in the year of 2014. Still the date, it is the big question mark. How we are going to solve this privacy, security, and welfare questions arised from the participants, right? Those things we are supposed to think of. When we talk about this IoT, it is a process-driven item, which means it is going to monitor several amount of data. I said an example, as a human, we are very much interested to monitor or to utilize these electronic gadgets, right? I told an example, this wearable device, watch. When we use such kind of items, it is observing data. Observing sense, it is going to observe what is the blood speed, blood count, or even our heart beating counts, or our sugar rating, right? Like that, it will observe several things. Even it can be utilized for storing our banking data. Even it is best place for storing and monitoring our transportation items. So it is going to collect and record data. When it is going to collect and record data, I can say an example for the entire session, the IoT in a healthcare industry. Assume a person is wearing a smartwatch who is a heart patient, which means the particular watch is embedded with a lot of sensors which is observing the heartbeat of the particular patient. It is collecting the data, recording the data. While collecting and recording the data, it will, what will it do? It will compare with the setup data. It will go for analyze. It will go for process. What is the normal heartbeat for a person in a minute? How much this person is had? Whether it is in a controllable limit or beyond the controllable limit. If it is in the beyond controllable limit, the particular smartwatch will start triggering alert. Alert sense, it will send messages to the close relatives, again the data which is fed, so that the persons will go for taking an action. By that way, the particular person's hospital expenses, more than the hospital expenses, the individual human's life will be saved. Because of that reasons, this IoT is emerging as a bigger one. When we talk about this IoT, as on the date, if you are talking the IoT connected device, as per Gartner, 26 billion, as per Cisco, 50 billion, as per Morgan Stanley, 75 billion. Of course, Intel is predicting that 200 billion. If you are looking at human rights, it is having only 86 billion neurons, right? So we have to think of how much it is going to make traffic, how much it is going to succeed. Of course, it is succeeded. In this corona situation, the connection is having more. Best example, I am not saying the big things. A small thing which is made by academicians as well as students are similar to our institute, right? In this particular situation, they made a wonderful device. Why? In this situation, we are supposed to sanitize our hand for continuously 20 seconds. Nobody is doing by looking the watch. What these brilliant students did, they fitted a sensor. When we fix, when we start, when we punch it, it will start singing and music. It will start delivering a music. That too only for 20 seconds. So that the person who is utilizing the device can ensure that he sanitized continuously for 20 seconds, right? A device which is made by, which is invented by, similar to our university or college, which is named as 20 seconds for life, is a best example for IoT, right? But when we talk about the positive things, always there are some challenges, right? When we talk about this IoT, it is also having some challenges. Why? Are we relying on this technology in a higher level? Because of that, the individual's data is transferring from one point to multiple points as well as vice versa. Are we going to lose our privacy? Because of the implementation of these kind of technologies, this human's job is a question mark. These are the major challenges when we talk about IoT. When I say major challenge, as a public, as a common man, technically we are having a lot of challenges. Let us wait and discuss in the coming slides. Right? You might hear about the person who invented this IoT, Kevin Aston, right? Some years back, some decades back, I can say, some decades back, right? So he didn't invent this particular item by any intention. His intention is entirely different. Why? Actually, in the year 1999, he is the entrepreneur, right? He is the person who used the term Internet of Things. That time he was working in Auto ID labs. As a normal human, similar to us, to attract the higher authorities, he thought of doing something, right? But he came up with this particular term. Of course, this is not utilized for the purpose which we are doing now. It is used for the purpose of barcode scanner or QR code scanner or digital watermarking, right? We are all working IoT currently. He is not having such kind of intention. He thought of attracting only his seniors when he was in Auto ID labs, right? But it is not emerged from 1999. It took almost 10 years to succeed in its life, right? When we talk about this IoT, right? Principal told there are several applications. For making easier understanding about application, I am showing this slide. Right? Initially, we can talk about the home automation. I am sure at least a few of the participants' home or tank is having such kind of sensor which can be controlled from our mobile phone. Of course, the picture which I am showing on the screen is named as Wemo Switch Smart Plug. This can be put it in any regular outlet of our power source. Device. It can be turn in, turn off by using our mobile. Right? So this is one of the lowest model example. Second, the enterprises level. Hope few of us are having the experience of staying in a higher level of hotel rooms where the air conditioner thermostat will automatically adjust its regularizing temperature by observing the heat emitted by the humans inside that particular room. If there is 4 participants, accordingly the temperature will get reduced or increased. If the persons are less number, it will go accordingly, right? Similarly, the entire home, entire company can go for automation. That's what we are talking about, this enterprise. Then the third thing, we can say utilities. Principal mentioned about the policy published by government of Tamil Nadu. In addition to that, I want to add few more things. The government of Uttar Pradesh is the first one, came in the year of 2018 for the implementation of blockchain. Later on the same year, the Telangana government also came up with a policy. Similarly, the government of Kerala came up with the policy of blockchain academy. Now, recently, Tamil Nadu government also came up. In addition to this, government of India also already started piloting work for the implementation of IoT with blockchain. I am sure within a short period of time, the entire scenario will go for getting changed. How it is going to utilize in this particular energy management will be a question among the people. That's what I told. This particular topic is not related only with computer science people. It is related with electrical, it is related with mechanical, it is related with civil and what-not. When we talk about energy, the energy production, energy will be dealt with electrical engineers. Of course, again, the government of Tamil Nadu is also having the policy of implementing the solar energy. Similarly, the government of Maharashtra is already having such a policy of making the people to invest money to kickstart business in energy production. So in the coming years, there will be multi people, multi companies will come up with energy production. Those energy will be supplied to the required people in a required amount in an appropriate time without any loss. So multiple inputs will be there. It will be redirected or redelivered to a remote area too. There we are going to use the smart meters. There we are going to use this IoT application, right? For the purpose of making the work with lesser loss in terms of finance, in terms of human resource. This IoT is having a huge role. Of course, the transportation. Thanks to the corona situation, most of our toll gates are nowadays in a digital medium. In addition to that, the remaining things can also come up with IoT application. Large scale deployment. These are all small things I told: home automation, enterprise, utilities, energy management, transportation are all small things comparing with this video which is running on your backscreen. Large scale deployment. We can ask, sir, is there a city? There is a city in the world which is in South Korea called as Songdo, Songdo. The first of its kind, fully wired smart city. When I say fully wired, each and everything in this city is covered or connected with wires. With wires, that means Internet of Things. All the activities in this particular city will be monitored. This is not a small city. This is almost 1,500 acres. Right? This is the worst city in the world. Here almost 100 buildings are there. When I say 100 plus buildings, right, 50,000 people are living or doing their business. When I say 50,000 plus people are living or doing their business and 100 plus buildings are there, then the 100 plus buildings are having more than a lakh of million square feet of plinth area, and all the activities are monitored by Internet of Things, right? We have to think about the dissipation of CO2, right? Definitely CO2 will be emitted. In that scenario, all the 100 plus buildings are all certified as LEED buildings, green buildings. So like that, this IoT is having a huge role in the coming years. And the last, my favorite area, this IoT is most required item for medical and health care. So the engineers are going to act as the doctors in the coming days, right? When I say like that, the prediction in the abroad, the predictions made in the abroad, within next 10 years, there will be no medical and engineering colleges as a separate one. It will be a same single campus. Just to recall the eye surgery, the eye doctor is not going to do the surgery by using his hands. The machine is doing. Who is made the machine? The engineer is made the machine. Just imagine if the machine is going to execute through Internet of Things, and the doctor who is going to sit along with the patient to monitor the execution of surgery, right, will be lesser quality than us only. So the engineers are going to rule this world in the coming year in a huge way. Just for a cheerness, I put this term, healthcare and healthcare. We often hear this particular term in our day-to-day life. But what is the difference between these terminologies? If it is put in a single word, what is the meaning? If it is put in a double word, how it can be? Just for a cherishing. Right. The title of STTP itself, challenges and applications. When I thought of delivering a content at the first day, first session, right, I chosen this particular topic. Challenges. I don't want to talk only about the technical challenges. Of course, environmental ethics is related with this particular topic. This environmental ethics is the philosophical discipline that considers the moral and ethical relationship of human beings to the environment. In other words, what if any moral obligation does man have to the preservation and care of the non-human world? While ethical issues concerning the environment have been debated for centuries, environmental ethics didn't emerge as a philosophical discipline until past 5 decades. Its emergence was the result of increased awareness of how the rapidly growing world population was impacting the environment as well as the environmental consequences that came with the growing use of, I can say, pesticides, technology and industry. This industry technology are directly related with us. Of course, the pesticides, again, manufacturing industry. So the environmental ethics helps define man's moral and ethical obligations towards the environment, but human values become a factor when looking at environmental ethics. Human values are the things that are important to individuals that they then use to evaluate actions or events. In other words, humans assign values to certain things, right? Certain things, and then use this assigned value to make decisions about whether something is right or wrong. Of course, cutting down the forest to make for a farmland in South Africa is not an ethical issue. But in India, especially, we may hear a lot of calls came out from the public in Bombay. Similarly, building hydroelectric dam by destroying some rare species of fish. Similarly, mining techniques. Of course, you people will ask, sir, whether it is related with IoT, whether it is related with blockchain. Yes, it is related with IoT in a huge way. Of course, blockchain too. These are all the activities hugely carrying out in our country. And these are all issues happening. And because of the implementation of this particular IoT as well as blockchain, also there is an issue that can be overcome easily only with the involvement of you people. When I say you people, you are the opti people who are developing this technology. Why I am saying is, our day-to-day activities depend on our computers, either laptop or desktop. When we use this desktop, laptop, even in the switch-off condition, but plug in with the power point, it is emitting certain amount of CO2 into the environment. Which means, if we are allowing the electronic gadgets to interact with energy, it will emit certain amount of CO2 into the environment, irrespective of operations, whether it is an email, whether it is searching a particular item in a search engine, right? These are all making certain issues. This is the biggest challenge when we go for deploying IoT and blockchain into the various activities of our human life. When I say searching of email, when I say storing data in a particular storage center, which we normally call as data center or cloud, or even searching a particular item in a search engine like Google, it is emitting CO2, and the proven researchers are saying that it is emitting CO2 if we are traveling by a car like 1000 kilometers or 1400 kilometers and etc. things, right? So how we can avoid all these things? Yes, only we people can make it in a better way. How? Let us wait some more time. The slides will come, right? So these environmental issues are a huge issue. Here, so when I surf internet, whether it will emit CO2 means yes, it is some emitting in a huge way. But what is the problem? Whether it is a comparable one with the industries, this kind of questions the participants will rise. In that session, in that scenario, I am putting this information to you. Last year, the world energy production was 1,52,000 terawatt hour. 1,52,000 terawatt hour. Indian energy production is less than 1% of global power production. Indian production was 1,350 terawatt hour. Less than 1% of the global energy production. But the utilization of energy is 6 to 10% of the global energy production. And it is increasing year by year 5 to 7%. Of course, 2020, the utilization increased almost 12 to 17%, which means whatever the energy produced will be utilized for the purpose of using our information communication technology, right? So, what is the problem? The world population is 738 crore plus Indian population is 1/5 of the total population, but Indian energy production is 1% less than 1% of global energy production. And if we want all the 138 plus crore people wants to live the life comfortably with all luxurious gadgets connected with the internet, you just imagine how much power required to produce. This is another big challenge, right? So the challenges are in a bigger way. So in that scenario, right, I don't know the people gathered here are belongs to computer or different branches of engineering. But I am sure the persons gathered here are all interested to learn something, to know something, or jump into the research of this particular IoT. In that scenario, by considering the scenario, right, I thought of asking you one question. The question is like this, right? I don't want to know whether you belongs to computer science or whether you belongs to electrical engineering, right? I want to know only one thing. Are you interested to make algorithm, or are you interested to make some hardware, or are you interested to be a cyber security person, right? So to know these things, I shared a link in your chat box. I shared a link in your chat box. I request the participants to participate in the poll by clicking the link. When I say clicking the link, it will lead to mendy.com, right? When you go to the mendy.com, either you go mendy.com and use the passcode 9171253 and give the poll, or you can click the link which I shared in your shared folder, and it will lead you directly to the particular polling site, so that we can understand the interest of the participants. By knowing the interest of the participants, the remaining speakers may deliver their content according to their interest. Otherwise, it is difficult for them to identify the mindset of people. Of course, this is supposed to be a physical interaction. Due to several reasons and situations, it is made as an online platform, right? I hope 60 plus participants are there, and sorry, the things are wrong. This is not one. I made a wrong one. Give me a moment. Okay. Give me a moment. Little bit slow, my network. Yes. So for 14 participants, okay. So now the question is like this: I am interested in developing algorithms, developing software, hardware technology, and others. And of course, 2 participants made other category, right? So I request those 2 participants please type if possible in the chat box so that the remaining participants also come to know the remaining choices, right? I will do one thing. Almost 60 participants plus are there and only 14 are for. I can keep open of this poll till end of the day. You can continue, right, till end of the day. So this is what the condition as of the date. So IoT is mostly required in almost all the places in our day-to-day life, but it is having a great challenge in the case of environmental. So when I said this environmental issue, I am sure most of the participants got shocked. Sir, I thought of learning something related with IoT and blockchain, and you started telling about environmental things, right? This is the mindset of people. We always having the visibility in a direct way. We are supposed to come to the last stage, that is called the successive stage, which is called integration, or at least the decision. I can say a simple story. Assume the 60 plus participants interested to make a one-day picnic with an overnight stay, and the coordinator arranged a bus and informed that, sir, the bus is a very new one and it is going to make its maiden trip to this hill station, that to our trip. Everyone gathered at 4 p.m. and boarded the bus and reached the hill station airport by 6 p.m. and comfortably stayed in the resort. Further, the coordinator told morning 8 o'clock the bus will start, so everybody will get ready after completing their breakfast. Definitely, all the 60 are boarded in the bus, even 7:55 itself. But the bus is not getting started, right? Just to think about the mindset of people. Somebody will say, I know this travel agency, always will say the bus is good, but it won't work. Somebody will say, you please come down, we will push the bus. Maybe the fuel got freezed. Somebody will tell, I am an unlucky person, I will always get like this only, frustration. The coordinator will walk here and try to collect the travel agency owner, like. So the people mindset may be in shock condition, denial condition, frustration condition, depressed condition, experiment condition, right? And only very few people will decide. And only very few people will integrate. Of course, everyone should come with a decision of come for the final stage, that is decision and integration. If so, right, if you are in shock, denial, anger stage, we are required more amount of information and communication. If you are in bargaining depression, we are required some emotional support. If you are in acceptance and problem solving, definitely we are required some guidance and direction. So in this scenario, the participants gathered here, as I said earlier, you may be a starting stage, beginner, or you might be an intermediate, or you are an expert. I don't know which state you are, but you are supposed to come and reach the destination, that is decision and integration level. If you are in the beginner stage, you are required more amount of communication, more requirement of knowledge. Yes, sir, I gathered knowledge and I experienced something, but I am not getting solution. Always I am failing. So you require some emotional support, or you require some best guidance. I am sure you will get all this type of support from this STTP. When we talk about this IoT in healthcare industry, it is related with this patient, physician, hospital, right? As a generic person, we are having only up to this hospital. We are having one more term which is called insurance. Most of us or thinking about insurance in the past 8+ months. Just imagine like this. I am a person who is having a health insurance, right? And the insurer already given a hospital. Of course, it is available as on the date. As and when I entered into the hospital and when the receptionist entered my details in the computer, if the computer transmits those data to the insurance company, and based on that, if the validation made, you just imagine how the life will become sweeter, right? So the healthcare sector can be redefined by Internet of Things. How? As I said earlier, the devices. The devices are playing major role. So without an electronics engineer, we cannot go for implementing this IoT in a successive way in any place. Maybe actuators or sensors or cameras or monitors, right? Where we are collecting lot of data. Generally, the data will be analog data. Those analog data will be converted into digital and it will be called as pre-processing. Data will be acquired, data will be processed. How can we process? After processing, it has to be stored. So you want to become expertise in device management or data analyst or data security person or data analytics person. I am just saying the broad category. Inside of devices itself, in the inside of data processing itself, or storage itself, or analysis itself. So here the blockchain can be utilized where the data storage. Why? The data will be stored in a data center or server or as a cloud, right? And all the data will be stored in a particular place. So the cyber attackers or hackers are having a scope to steal data as a bulky one. If you are storing the data in various places, then the possibility of losing data will be ignorable way. So the healthcare industry can be redefined by implementing IoT through various devices by doing some pre-processing, storaging and analyzing. The benefits, of course, cost reduction, improved treatment, faster disease diagnosis, proactive treatment, drugs and equipment management, and the final, error reduction. I am not saying error eradication, right? I am not saying error eradication. I am saying error reduction. Why I am saying error reduction? Why I am not saying error eradication? Definitely the error eradication is required lot of iterations. Then comes the problems. Because we are transmitting the data, we require this cyber security. The cyber security is the practice of defending computers, servers, mobile devices, electronic systems, networks, data malicious attacks, right? We can say N way. Otherwise, it is known as information technology security or electronic information security. Again, several subtopics are there. Like network security is the practice of securing computer network from intruders, whether targeted attackers or opportunistic malware. The application security focuses on keeping software and devices free of threats. A compromised application could provide access to the data it's designed to protect. Successful security begins in the design stage, well before a program or a device is deployed. When we talk about information security, it protects the integrity and privacy of data both in storage and in transit. Operational security includes the processes and decisions for handling and protecting data sheets, or we can say data assets. So the permissions or the permission users have when accessing a network, and the procedures that determine how and where data may be stored or shared all fall under this particular operation security umbrella. No need talking much about this disaster recovery and business continuity, but end user education. Most of the cyber attacks, most of the attacks are successing because of non-education. That's what I can say, right? So, are you interested in these segments? I am just inducing the participants to think of various aspects to involve for making our life as a simpler one. Why I am saying this much? We are getting lot of problems in the cyber area. When we connect machines to human and humans to machines and machine to machines through IoT, we are finding lot of unethical actions. Few items I shown in the slide, right? But still several things are there. How we are going to overcome this? If you are looking the incidents, again, these are all recorded incidents. Other than not recorded also in a huge way. If you are looking the healthcare 798 incident happened. If you are looking the education, you are looking the manufacturing, it is high. Of course, finance is having the major issue. So the cyber security, when we talk about IoT, the cyber security also mostly required. Why I say so? We can dream, create, design, and build the most wonderful place in the world. Every one of us is interested to make a wonderful house for our family members. But it is not in our hand. We can design, dream, create. Right? We all are interested to visit the most best amusement park in the world, Walt Disney, right? But the person, Walt Disney, is not happy with that construction. Why? It is not up to his expectation. So whatever we do, the society has to accept us. The cyber attack in the past few years are huge number. When we say 2018, 62% of the businesses experienced phishing and social engineering attacks. 41% of companies have over 1,000 sensitive files left unprotected. In the last year, it was exceeded 1 trillion cumulatively over the 5-year period of term. So the cyber threat is a bigger issue. Okay, this particular slide is not appropriate for this day because these predictions are all breached already. 2022, it is predicted that 29 billion devices will be connected with internet. But it is almost 50 billion already reached. When we say the predictions, this is for 2020, so that I am not explaining in a brief way, but in all these cases, the artificial intelligence data analytics, right, with various sectors, specifically healthcare, manufacturing, and of course the smart stores are all predicted to become higher way. When we go for the future, that is 2025, right? Again, 21 billion device, as I said earlier, it almost 50 billion reached. When we say IoT, that too connected with 50 billion devices, the cyber criminals, it is facilitate DDoS attacks. More cities, I already said an example of South Korea, Sangdo. Of course, Government of India also came up with several smart cities. I witnessed one smart city in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, not completely done, but comparatively that is the topmost one. That's what I can say. Artificial intelligence will continue to become a bigger thing. Of course, it is connected with IoT, right? I am sure most of you are belongs to computer science area. The routers, because most of the hackings are happening through router, right? So that is also a best research area for the participants. Of course, India is not received this 5G networks, but hopefully we will have. When in the 5G networks comes, the autonomous cars. Autonomous cars is related with the mechanical engineer and electrical engineer. That's what we felt so far when we connected with the electric automobile or electric vehicle. Now it is connected with computer technologists too. Without the computer technologist, it never happened. When I said DDoS attacks, but it will come in a different way. Unexpected way. Of course, many governments are not having the legislation as well as regularity of the activity, so the concerns about security and privacy is having an issue, right? Anurag Singh, the organizers will share the feedback soon. Probably they may have their own policy, right? This is time for you to share your next questionnaire. In the next questionnaire, I have the question like this, right? I feel that I am not going to ask that, are you strong in blockchain? Are you strong in Python? Are you strong in machine learning? Are you strong in deep learning? I am not going to ask like that. I am going to ask in a different way. Right? Give me a moment. Yes, I shared in a link in your chat box. Why I shared this? What is the reason for asking this question? When we say, sir, I want to do research in IoT or I want to learn blockchain and implement blockchain in a particular place, it is not sufficient only the programming skill. It is required problem solving skill, it is required technical aptitude, it is required knowledge of security across various platforms and etc. things. I think the link is working for the participants. If you are finding any difficulty, you please interrupt by unmute the mic or put it in chat box. Give me some 10 seconds. Later on, we can start the remaining topics. Okay, my screen is not auto refreshing. Okay. So this is another way to identify the participants' level. If you are looking at the screen, I can say additional tip for you. 5 people are called a desire to learn, which means few people are in the beginner stage, right? Few people selected, the majority of people selected problem solving, right? I didn't put here it is related with mathematics or generic. Always the humans are having the tendency to choose the first choice, shooter side, right? So almost 13 participants polled. The first poll made by 14 participants, one participant less. Maybe I am not refreshing. Give me a moment. Yes, 14 in the first, 14 in the second. Maybe the participants are using mobile phone to attend this program, so that it is difficult for them to move from one to multiply. Right. So again, when we talk about this particular sector, healthcare application development trends in cloud-based healthcare support, we may think of it, how much it can be helpful for us people, or how much we can put effort in this particular sector to improve our position. Because many industries, as in lots of other industries, the days of internal IT staffs at hospitals and other healthcare institutions are vanished as operations migrate to cloud-based software and servers. Proponents of the shift say that means several things, include lower costs and the ability to speed up analysis of important care components such as clinical notes, all of which ideally lead to better care. I don't want to say much thing about this. Again, this telemedicine, this is a common now. This telehealth has been shown to overcome barriers to health services caused by distance between patient and provider. Access to reliable transportation, fragmentation of care due to gaps in time between appointments, and lack of available providers. Here I want to say an example, possible research. When we do this telemedicine, for example, the X-ray which shown in the slide, if you are including this artificial intelligence, it can come up with the possible solution where the machine learning coding people experience will help a lot. While looking from the outside, it is a generic. If you are looking in depth, there is a requirement of machine learning or deep learning, right, or DLP technologists, involvement of electronic engineers in terms of implementing sensors, actuators, cameras, involving doctors to describe such and such medical terms. Of course, the major involvement of computer technologies to make this assembly, right? So, to deploy this blockchain, the individual HCR, healthcare records, will get more safety, and the people mindset will come with more happiness than the current situation. This It is connecting with multiple agencies, but it is giving more amount of security. Please wait for some more slides. I will show. Most of the cases, most of the things will happen in the coming days by AR and VR. As a heart patient, the patient wants to know how the operation is going to happen. It can be briefed by the connection of IoT with the help of blockchain in a secured manner. The patient can easily identify how the heart surgery of mine is going to happen within the next 2 hours or 3 hours. That's what I told. This particular technology will help healthcare industry in a higher way in the coming days. So when we talk about this IoT, it is not possible to neglect the data science, cloud, blockchain, AI, AR, VR. We require all these things. These are all integrated, or we can say blended together. Why I am repeatedly saying this healthcare? It is having several modules. Several modules. When I say several modules, right, it is required to involve several agencies, not in a single campus. It may be R&D, manufacturing, distribution, healthcare provider, customer service. Again, I record the principal's message, customer service. This SaaS. Okay. So, you are talking about medical management or health industry, right? Health industry is having a huge scope because of the predictions I am saying. There are several people are having their predictions. The Gartner, right? Within the next 5 years, it is having the best possible way for making money. Of course, we people are intended to make money, but in an ethical way. Right. If you are looking the market is having a huge role where this IoT is directly involved. These wearable external devices. I am not saying internal devices. If you are implanting a device for a heart patient to observe or monitor the heart beating, that is implementation of a medical device in the body. External device, example, we can say the smartwatch. So the wearable external devices, implanted medical devices, of course the stationary medical devices. When we talk about system and software, so I am interested in IoT, but I am interested in system side or software side. There we are having this remote device management, network bandwidth management, data analytics, application security, network security. Right? The security itself, already I told some 5-6 items. So the people are having vast chances. No, sir, I am interested in service area, system integration service, consulting, training and education, support and maintenance service. So the market can be classified in multiple ways. If it is a connectivity technology, we can go for choosing Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, low energy, ZigBee, near field communication, cellular and satellite. But purely it is not computer related, it is supposed to collaborate nature. Even though it is purely computer technology, we require support from the other engineering sectors. It is up to us to choose the area. We are having a lot of areas, lot of possibilities. But which area we are interested to join. Clinical research organization, hospital clinic, research, diagnostic, if you are looking in the medical sector. If you want to look the application, as I said little ago, telemedicine, medication, clinical, inpatient, connected imaging, right? So like that, we are having n number of chances. But the question is, are we ready to choose? Or how many of us are chosen our area for doing the research? Will be the questions. So the third one, a very simple question. The first computer virus. Maybe you people can easily answer that. That's what I feel, right? Give me a moment, I can post the answer poll also. So the question which I given is the first computer virus. Yes. Okay, I made mistake, sorry. Yes. Friends, please don't go and Google it for getting the answer. This is not university examination. You poll it, whatever comes to your mindset at first sight. So the first computer virus is I love you, Blaster, Chaser, and Creeper. So far, some participants polled. As I said earlier, I can keep open of all the pollings till end of the day. So the first poll polled by 14 participants, and the second poll polled by again the same 4 participants, and the third poll polled so far by 5 participants, and among 5, 4 chosen Creeper as the first computer virus, right? Oh, let us continue. Okay. We are hearing this term blockchain for the past several years, right? Of course, we are hearing this term by another name which is called as Bitcoin or virtual coin. I am sure people knows well about the term record. I can come up with an example of our day-to-day activity, the college or the class, where we are collecting lot of information about the student. So a single student may have several data. That will be called as student record, right? Like that, in a class we may have 60 records or 63 or 66, depend upon the size of the class. It is not only related with class, it is related with anything. If there is an information about anything, that will be called as a record. So if you are having a collection of records, for example, 60 students' records is a collection, that will be called as a block. If you are looking in a class as a major role. If you are looking as a college as a major role, different class records will be called as a block. So it is up to us to look in macro level, micro level, nano level. Or in other words, blocks are a snapshot of each of state. State means water is in liquid state. It can be converted from liquid to solid state by reducing its temperature. So it will change from water state to ice state. Right? For a better understanding, I am saying this example. If you are connecting those blocks one after another continuously, that will be called as blockchain. So when you connect these blocks in a chain, it is difficult to make changes in between. Why? Each and every block is going to store data. And the next block is the continuation of the previous block. If you want to make change in the previous block, automatically the continuity block is to be updated. This data is not stored in a centralized system like cloud or server or data center. It will be stored in multiple, even millions of computers. So if you want to make change, the previous and after blocks must be updated. That's what we are saying, with permission. Since the data is stored in millions of computers, once the data is get approved, it is impossible to change its state. That's what this blockchain technology is claiming, that more security one. So the blockchain is a technology used for managing the exchange of assets. It is not only for the Bitcoin. It is for everything. As similar to the IoT definition, we can claim this blockchain also. So if you are saying an asset can be anything of any value. It can be physical or non-physical, like currency, real estate, inventory, right? EMR, electronic medical records. When we say asset, it will be held with some participant, right? So the participant may be individual or an organization. When we say we are having an asset and it is held by an X, and the X wants to give to someone Y, so it is required some transaction. So when the transaction happens, the new block is getting. So wherever there is a change of state, there is a new block. This is a basic fundamental for blockchain. Why we require blockchain? We are having the traditional income. If we want to purchase something, right, our mindset will not allow the mind to believe the seller. If you want to purchase a television, we have n number of questions in our mindset. That too at the beginning of Internet of Things. Whether I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Whether I am audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Because okay, one of my other system got disconnected. Give me a moment. Otherwise, I cannot see your message box. Give me a moment. I can reconnect.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, that's gone. Okay, no problem. So, if I am disconnected, you please unmute again, otherwise call me. Right.
Okay, sir.
See, the need of blockchain, we required a seller as well as buyer. When we say seller, the trust is an important item. Whether we have a system, we have only this kind of central authority like Reserve Bank. Other than that, we don't have anything. We are supposed to rely on the third party. So when we go for this blockchain, the immutability, the provenance, the finality, the conscience, right? When we say the immutability, the crypto technology. When we say the provenance, the distributed ledger. Definitely you are having a separate session in the permissioned ledger and restricted ledger in the coming days. And the verification. And there is no boss. All are boss. If you want to build trust in the trustless, then it is suitable that we can go for choosing the blockchain. So the blockchain is having such a wonderful positive thought. A reliable, difficult to hack record of transactions and of who owns what. This blockchain is based on distributed technology which securely records information across a peer-to-peer network. When we talk about the distributed ledger, it's a database. We had this SQL, we had this DBMS, RDBMS, right? The distributed ledger is a database of transactions that is connected with or shared with multiple computers. This is a peer-to-peer network based on algorithmic verification and approval. When I say algorithmic verification, we require some coding people. Of course, this machine learning, deep learning is essential. Right. Why I am saying is, we are just thinking and discussing about blockchain, but the world is very fast. Almost 300 plus banks, insurance companies already implemented or jumped into this blockchain. You might hear about the bank like PayPal, the world's biggest banking sectors are all already started using blockchain. Why? The inter-country transfer of money is very, very easy when we go for using this blockchain. I am sure few of the participants have the experience of transferring money to abroad or receiving from abroad, which takes hours and some occasions days. Right. So the financial sector is much dependent on IoT and blockchain nowadays. You might hear about this JP Morgan, one of the topest MNC. They are also already started. Why? The safety. The network safety, the data safety. But here again, some issues are there that has to be overcome. That's what we are talking about, fintech, the financial technology, in shortly called as fintech. If you just think about how the banks are carried out their activities in the past 20 plus years, this disruption, automation, digitization, simplification, right? These are all become as truth. Why? Because of implementation of IoT. And of course, when we go for implementing the blockchain also in a huge way, it will. When we say such way, don't think that the blockchain is having different type of character. It is a database technology. It is not an industry. It is not a financial service technology also. It is in everywhere. Maybe few of the participants had the experience while doing this Make My Trip or Amazon or Flipkart. Some occasions, right? Some occasions, money is debited from account, but the Flipkart says we didn't get credit. You please wait for another 2 days. The double spend problem will not happen if you are going through this blockchain. Of course, everything will be digital representations. There is no need of hiding the things. Transparency, durability, security. These are all some positive characteristics of blockchain. We are not able to see such kind of positive character in any other place. If you are interested in blockchain alone, then platform or service mentioned here, this Ethereum, Hyperledger Fabric, Ripple, Quorum, Coda, Stellar, Dragon Chain. If you look into the service, all the computer giants, not only computer giants, MNCs like Alibaba too, right? Amazon, Microsoft Azure, Coda, Oracle. So, component-wise, both the categories, platform as well as service, it is applicable. It is applicable in organization size also, irrespective of size. Large enterprise, small, medium enterprises too. Example, this BioTrust and Trust SQL are the well-known MNCs involved in implemented this blockchain, right? If you are looking the provider, there are several applications, middleware and infrastructure. When we look about the type, it may be private, public, or some occasions hybrid too. When you look about the applications are huge, but I spelled out only very few, like transportation, logistics, agriculture, energy, manufacturing, insurance, IT, healthcare, media, banking, retail, government, travel, education, real estate, and whatnot. This blockchain technology can be implemented in anywhere, including our home automation too. But we have to be very careful while choosing the sector. Always people will choose the very popular one, right? But my choice is always we have to choose the upcoming or projected in future. That's what projected. The healthcare industry is projected in a huge way in the coming days. So the banking sector is a bigger one. I will say with a case study, right, how this blockchain can be implemented in an effective manner in insurance. For example, policy creations and claims processing. I am damn sure few of us are had such kind of experience, but not in blockchain. When we say insurance policy creation as well as claims, that too with the involvement of blockchain, we may have two sides, client side as well as blockchain side, right? When we say blockchain side, when we say client side, I want to travel abroad. We can keep like this. I am a businessman. I often make travel to abroad. You know when? The travel insurance, right? So the travel insurance, every time we have to book. Instead of that, why can't we make like this? Whenever I go abroad, the travel insurance has to switch on. Whenever I come back, the travel insurance should get switched off. This is the concept. So accordingly, I made a smart contract. So that is recorded in the blockchain. So the blockchain has to observe me, alert me, and make correction in the record of travel insurance switch on and switch off. That is smart contract. So that will happen in the blockchain side. I given permission, blockchain made a block. I connected my mobile through GPS to the particular smart contract. So when and where I arrive at the airport, right, it will give alert. But here, because we are Indians, we think differently. Suppose if I am sending only my mobile through other people, also it will work out, right? So in that scenario, as and when I entered, or my mobile entered into the airport, the blockchain will get alert, or the block of mine in the insurance portal will get alert. It will send message to me. I have to respond, right? When I respond, the insurance will get activated. Again, we have to think technically whether the message of response alone is enough or some other physical witness is required. Accordingly, we have to do the machine learning algorithm. As soon as I come back from abroad, right, again the alert will go. I have to accept the alert or respond the alert so that it will get switch off or disabled. We can say, sir, without blockchain also we can do this, right? Right. Where and all we are giving this mobile number of mine? This blockchain portal, the insurance company, the flight booking agency, my own organization. Like that, we are connecting our mobile phone in multiple agencies. So the signals, the matter, the message will be recorded in all the places. So here only people are raising the question, privacy. So nothing wrong when we do the things ethically, when we do the things properly, no need of sharing the data. No need of worrying about sharing of the data. Who is having the hiding and seeking is required to worry. So in that scenario, we don't have to worry about our future. One more case, the property and casualty, because we are all belongs to a farmer category, right? So assume that a farmer is making an insurance for his corn, right? Because we are supposed to depend on the rainfall. The condition or the smart contract is like that. Whenever the drought, the farmer will get insurance amount. When the drought will come, if there is no rainfall for continuously 15 days, the farmer will suffer because he has to require certain amount of water for cultivating his farm. So the smart contract is made. The rainfall data is measured by an external device. Here I made as a plug-in gym, which is an US one. So it will be monitored. when and where the smart contract block receiving data mentioning that the rainfall is not happened for the past 15 days, right? The third party will give data to the insurance portal. Of course, the data will be stored in the blockchain. Because nowadays this is another big issue. People are claiming without having valid reason. So when and where the block receive or the smart contract receive data from the external service mentioning that there is no rainfall for the 15 consecutive days, it will trigger the compensation for the farmer. It will give order so that the farmer will get payment in their account automatically. In a certain extent, the government of India succeeded in this. Only thing, the security and data truthness. Recently also in our state, Tamil Nadu, we people received a number of complaints that many people claimed without any reason in some other sector, right? So if you are having such kind of automated process, that too with the implementation of blockchain, which cannot be go for editing without permission of 51% of connectors. I'm saying 51%, majority people. So this part, this blockchain is claiming that a bigger one. Right. Here the question for the people, those who belongs to this particular computer science area. Give me a moment, I will post it. Because since my other system is not working, I have to put it in the same system. The last poll, it is an interesting one because you people belongs to computer science and you are the persons creating these codings, right? And of course, most of us are having this Facebook account also. My question is like this. I given the link in the chat box. What is the number of lines in the Facebook? Line of codes in Facebook account is about 100 million lines, 62 million lines. But we have to think of. Just imagine if there is a problem in a particular line, how the things will be rectified. This is not a very simple matter, but it is a simple. So the line of codes in Facebook is about in millions. Just to recall the environmental ethics which I mentioned at the beginning. When we allow the electronic gadgets to interact with energy, it will emit CO2 into the environment, which is almost equivalent to some kilometers traveled by a car. So it is our primary duty while go for making such kind of codings, we have to have a lesser number of lines. When I say less number of lines, it should be effective one, at the same time number of lines must be less. We have to try in such a way. Then only we may able to make success of each and every activity. And the last one, ethics. Are we working 100% ethical way in our day-to-day life? When I say ethics, it has to be related with the laws of our country, our religious. Since we are talking about IoT, data too should be considered. and the values. I'm not going to talk much thing about this ethics. Just a case study. In our real time, we are making lot of plans, right? We are making plans. Individual as well as organization. Assume this is a plan of our organization. Whether our plan of our organization is 100% mapping. Most of you are NBA accredited program people, right? Whether it is possible 100% technically, right? When I ask such a question, maybe people say yes, but in general it is not. Say 60%. That's what this Rogan made the survey few years back. Right. So technically it is not 100%. Whether it is legally it is 100%. If I am asking that question, no, that is also not. The plan which we are making for our organization is not 100% technically matching or mapping. Legally also it is not 100% mapping. Then where is the ethics? Ethics is mapping, say, 10 to 20%. Right? So this is the real life. This is the research, proven research. Of course, there are some exceptions in individual as well as organization, but in general, the ethics are like this. Similarly, this ethics, okay, I'm not talking about the definitions because I have only 15 more minutes. This ethics, I am trying my life to do everything in an ethical way, but I am not able to do. That's what most of us are saying. I am forced to do. What can I do? A situation in which a difficult choice has to be made between two courses of action, either of which details transgressing a moral principle. Most of the people are in ethical dilemma. And because of practice of ethical dilemma, we are later days not looking at the ethical issues. When we talk about this IoT and blockchain, when we talk about this machine learning, deep learning, or data analytics, right, there also lot of ethical issues are there. The accountability, transparency, confidentiality, ownership, anonymity, reputation, identity, fairness, privacy are few ethical issues. Of course, when we go for blockchain, this transparency, this accountability, this identity, fairness, privacy, confidentiality can be removed in an extent. If you are not implementing this blockchain and if you are doing only IoT with artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, these ethical issues are there, right? When I say you people are not believe, but some cases are existence in our day-to-day activity in the past 1+ decade. When we write something, right, like robo advisory, like autopiloting, we don't know what is the algorithm written, what is the instruction given. These are all like a black box. We are not permitted to see what is inside. We are permitted to see only the predictions, right? Example, this payball in the year of 2011, the data got hacked. You might hear about the Citicorp, a big giant in the financial sector, also lost data, including the credit card details. You might hear about this Kalsi, a mafia boy, who hacked, including the CNN, and damaged several billions of assets. While we go for making such kind of algorithms, we have to think of this ethical also. Of course, we heard about this Cambridge Analytica with Facebook scandal in our country for the past 2 years in a bigger way. Why it is happening? It is all because of the lacking happened in the algorithm write-up. If you are strong in algorithm write-up, definitely we can avoid these kind of cases. So when we talk about this IoT, the ethical issues still continuing like bias in face recognition system, gender biased results and chatbot issues in NLP. When I say this second term, most of us are having the experience of make my trip, right? When we call the customer care, it will say dial 1, dial 2, dial 3, right? And if you are asking the robot to answer, it won't understand what we are asking in the chat box. It will repeatedly saying, I am not able to understand. Why all these things? The machine learning algorithm or deep learning algorithm is not in stronger, or the data is not trained data, or the model is not updated one. Maybe a few of you are using the iPhone 10 model or more than that, which is claimed as the triumph of machine learning technology. Why? The Face ID in the Apple iPhone is keep on updating the data and updating the model and training the model so that if the person get changes in the facial expression even after few years, also possible to identify by this Face ID. No other things are reached in that level as of now. In future, we are having the problem in autonomous cars because it is coming in a bigger way. Autonomous weapons, including this corona, Internet of Things, is a common term. Personalized medicine, social credit system in China are all some ethical issues in near futures and threatening us. Before winding up, why healthcare IoT? We are having the habit of monitor and support a person free from physical constraints will change the way doctors deal with patients. So healthcare IoT is more important, more required. As of the date, we are getting some problem. After getting problem of sometimes, we are going and diagnosing for treatment. If you are going to have IoT, everything will be alerted within no time so that the cost, the prevention, the diagnosis, the life of human will be in a better way. If at all you are interested in healthcare IoT, with the implementation of IoT and blockchain, I am suggesting these modules can be taken so that you may start doing the research. I often say in all the meetings, research cannot come in a single year or single day. It required an iteration. The department should decide which area our department wants to focus on research. If at all you are interested to focus research in IoT and blockchain, then you have to decide which sector. If at all you choose an hospital or health sector, then this particular slide will help you. The things which I showed are all taken as a reference, and if you want to go for an app, this can be not limited with this many numbers. Of course, you may go for increasing also. If at all any participants or the hosting college finds additional things in this particular sector, please share with me to update my PPT. In these individuals, again we are having sub-modules. For example, in the smart outpatient department itself, the online appointment, patient kiosk, token queue system, unified registration desk, prescription, pharmacy. Again, these are all interrelated. So it required several iterations, several modifications. Or we think of this digital stethoscope, thermometer, spirometer. We are having thermometer in all college campus gates. Whether it is connected with IoT, are you trying to do in-house project in these equipments? Think of. So in a macro level, we cannot omit EMR, HR without mobile app, big data, artificial intelligence, data security. So these EMRs, EHRs are identified as a best possible growth area in the coming days because Indian health industry is having these advantages. Right. If you are looking the market size in the past few years, it is having this record and it is predicted like this. Not only market size, the composition, number of doctors, number of medical colleges, number of hospitals also increasing more than the forecasted or projected way. Why? The insurance premium collection in the past years are showing a positive growth, continuous positive growth. Moreover, I said 25 billion, 21 billion and 50 billion devices will be connected with IoT. Among those connected IoT devices, 30.3% devices belongs to healthcare. That's what the prediction. It's equivalent to 2.5 trillion US dollar globally. So this particular industry is having a bigger way. Accordingly, Government of India's initiatives in the past few years in these sectors like public-private partnership, National Ayush Mission, National Health Policy, also motivating us to jump into this particular sector. In this scenario, the challenges, security and privacy, healthcare reforms and mandates, and technology adoption by the people of Indians are challenges. Of course, the security and privacy can be handled by us by rigorous research. Of course, some medical devices for your reference I will share this with the coordinator for the forward to the participants. Again, the same quote which Walt Disney mentioned is coming to my mind, and I am warning you people that in the future, I have no doubt that in reality the future will be vastly more surprising than anything I can imagine, mentioned by JBS Holland, a British geneticist and evolutionary biologist. Of course, the threats are like that, starts from password guessing to ransomware. We have to look of it. Threats can be individual computer to connected devices because we humans, we Indians are started wearing connected devices with us, which is having a problem. Of course, the acts in our Indian country is very strong. We have the IT Act 2000, Cybercrime Prevention Act 2012. In that Act 2000, Section 43 is mentioning like this: if you are doing any illegal access to computer system or damaging the computer or its stored data or network, etc., shall be liable by way of compensation up to ₹1 crore. Acts are there, but as I said, intermediately, the education about these acts are not communicated to our people. Some devices which we use in our day-to-day life, since the time is not there, I am not saying about e-call devices in European devices. Those who are interested to do collaborative research with me or the host institute in this particular sector, right? In this particular sector can contact us by giving your interest in the poll. I will give the link in your chat box. You can poll it when you are having a time. All the above thing, right? All the above thing. Our life can be simplified with connected devices through internet. I am not saying that our life has to become like this, but these are all possible. These are all can simplify our life. But I request, while making our life as a simplified one with connected devices similar to this video, we have to consider the ethics, we have to consider the environmental, we have to consider the happiness index of each and every human in the universe. If you are succeeding in such a manner, definitely no one can beat us. As predicted by many of the agencies and the countries, that India is having a great strength in terms of skill sector. Skill sector, these are all skills. We Indians are having a bright, not to dominate, it is to lead the world in a better, positive, highly happiness indexed day-to-day life. So in that sense, I am ending this particular day talk, and I referred these many references. These are all some interesting references. When time permits, you can also read it. And those who are interested to make offline contact can contact me in the mentioned data, offline data. Those who are interested to do collaborative research, please give your data in the Google form link which I provided in your chat box. Since the time is up, I am winding the session. Thank you for your patient listening. Thank you for the coordinator, college authorities and principal management to meet and share my thoughts with 50 plus energetic participants. Thank you all. Over to the coordinator.
Thank you, sir. Participants, if you are having any queries, kindly post it in the chat box. Any queries, kindly post it in the chat box.
Maybe people are hurried to go for lunch, or they may be beginners, so they need some more messages, information. Maybe over the next 2-3 sessions, they may start asking questions.
Yes.
And we have another problem that who will start first. So people may feel that also. Anyhow, it is a good.
Okay, sir. Vishnu, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, sir. It was really a valuable session for all of us. Your most valuable talk on IoT will be very useful for every participant. It was really an impressive session along with essential attitudinal behavior required for the beginners of IoT. We are sure all the participants would have attained a good knowledge on IoT process, challenges, striking data, IoT in medical management, the importance of blockchain, etc. Once again, we thank you for your valuable inputs given, which will certainly improve our ideas on IoT with blockchain. We are eagerly looking forward for more such interactions in the years to come. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Participants kindly join the afternoon session with the same link by 1:30 p.m. Thank you.
So thank you, sir. Thank you all participants.